My name is Alexander Thorne, and for the last 4 years I have served as the elected governor of the state of Silver Peaks. Before that, I was just another billionaire tech entrepreneur who wanted a quiet retreat in the mountains. That retreat became Thornecrest, a sprawling 18,000-square-foot modern mansion perched on a private ridge overlooking the exclusive gated community of Crest. The views were priceless, the air crisp, and the silence absolute. Or so I thought. Crest is an HOA run by a self-appointed hunna of retired busybodies who treat covenants like holy scripture. The president, Karen Whitmore, had made it her life's mission to enforce every comma in the 147-page rulebook. Paint too dark? Fine. Mailbox 1 inch too tall? Fine. Basketball hoop visible from the street for more than 30 minutes? $1,000 citation. I paid my dues on time. Always. But the fine started anyway. First, it was the native wildflowers I planted instead of the approved Kentucky bluegrass. Then the solar panels that altered the aesthetic harmony. Then the helipad I installed for weekend getaways. Apparently, aircraft operations required prior approval from a committee that met once every leap year. Each fine came with a smug certified letter signed by Karen herself. I appealed. I attended meetings. I even offered to fund community upgrades if they'd ease up. They responded by doubling the fines and placing a lien on Thornecrest. I was traveling the state on gubernatorial duties and let my assistant handle the payments. A clerical error, one missed deadline, and suddenly I owed $187,000 in compounded penalties. On a rainy Tuesday in October, I received a video from my security system. Bulldozers, 3 of them, orange beacons flashing as they tore into my glass and steel masterpiece. Walls crumbled. The cantilevered infinity pool cracked and spilled down the mountainside like a waterfall. My custom Italian marble kitchen was reduced to dust in minutes. By the time my helicopter touched down, all that remained was a smoking scar on the ridge and a handwritten note taped to a temporary fence. Property demolished for non-payment of HOA assessments. Crest board. Karen stood there in her neon safety vest, arms crossed, smiling like she'd just won the lottery. I didn't scream. I didn't threaten. I simply took out my phone and called my chief of staff. Schedule a press conference for tomorrow, I said quietly, and get me the charter documents for Crest. You see, what Karen and her board forgot, what they never bothered to check, was that Crest wasn't just any private HOA. In the 1980s, the original developer had incorporated the community as a special improvement district under state law to secure tax advantages. That meant the HOA wasn't truly private. It derived its enforcement powers from the state, from me. As governor, I have authority over district governance, including the power to dissolve, reorganize, or replace boards that abuse their delegated authority. The next morning, flanked by state troopers and every major news outlet in Silver Peaks, I held that press conference on the rubble of my home. Yesterday, I began a rogue board destroyed a 9-figure property because of paperwork. Today, I am exercising my statutory authority as governor to dissolve the Crest Improvement District Board effective immediately. Gasps rippled through the crowd. Cameras flashed. Furthermore, I am appointing an interim receiver to manage community affairs until new elections can be held. Elections that will no longer require board approval of landscaping, paint colors, or holiday decorations. And to Mrs. Whitmore and her colleagues, you will be hearing from the Attorney General regarding criminal misuse of lien authority and intentional destruction of property. Karen's face on the front page the next day was worth more than any mansion. She aged 10 years in a single photograph. Within weeks, the former board members lawyered up. Liens were reversed. Insurance companies scrambled. The state investigation uncovered years of embezzlement. HOA funds diverted to personal vacations, consulting fees, and a suspiciously lavish community center renovation that somehow included a private wine cellar for the board. I rebuilt Thornecrest bigger, bolder, with floor-to-ceiling windows that now overlook community that waves cheerfully when I fly in. The new covenants? A single page. Pay your fair share, be decent to your neighbors, and mind your own lawn. Karen moved away quietly. Rumor has it she now lives in a beige condo with strict rules about balcony plants. I sent her a housewarming gift, a single potted wildflower, and a note that read, "No approval required." Some call it revenge. I call it governance.